We are already on air. Estamos en vivo. Estamos en vivo con Hablando con Belili. Saludos, saludos, saludos. Muy buenas noches. Good evening. Saludos, saludos. ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo están? How are we doing? New York, how are you doing? So as you know, what can I say to you today, guys? I'm just blessed and more than grateful to present my culture tonight, to present who we are. And not only that, I am honored to have my brother John today at Hablandoconbelili, including Abraham Laburiel, two different guys, but in the same accord. These two gentlemen out here, um, they have a huge project in their hand, and we would love to hear from them. But not only that, the main core of our platform tonight is to introduce you a project these two guys and the rest of the crew has been working on. Um, Not only working on, but I would say a project that they, as two kids that were born in the United States, and for them to be curious of who they are, where they come from. Um, it takes a lot of joy to know that although they didn't grow up in Honduras like me, um, they are curious of who we are. So tonight we will be talking to John Moreira, including Abraham Labarel, regarding a project they've been working on for the past couple of years. Um, it's el proyecto Yurum, the project Yurum. Yurum means Yurume, where we come from as a different people. But I will not take up so much of your time. I would love to introduce John Moreira and Abraham Lauriel. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how
I'm
you doing?
good. I'm good. How are you?
Bless,
Yeah,
bless.
bless. Yes, absolutely.
So first up, I just want to say thank you for being here at this space with me tonight. I know we're streaming live, but I just want you to be comfortable because this is live video, so anything will take place. But I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for taking up your time and come and sit with me. And I'm really, really, really blessed and thankful for you to come sit with me today and speak about this great project, this screening that is going to take place on Saturday in Brooklyn. I will not give you too much of a detail because I want John and Abraham to give you the full details. So I guess who do we start off with? We start off with John.
Yeah, so my name is John Moreira, um, and I'm 35 years old. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, but I currently live in California, in Southern California. Um, but most of my family still lives out here in New York City, so I always travel back and forth to check on family and things of that nature. Um, and this is my cousin. I'll let him introduce himself.
Well, my name is Abraham Lauria Lambert. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, Far Rockaway, Queens. I'm 43 years old, and I am so proud to be Garifuna.
Woo-hoo.
We're gonna start it off like that.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Word. So, you know, this project, you know, we've been working on 3+ years now. It's a project that, you know, I started with in my room, just writing out the plot, you know, and just breaking down how I would go about executing it. Just praying on it as well. And you know, here we are 3 years later. But really what got the wheels going on the project was, you know, growing up, we grew up here in the States, right? So our parents, they grew up in Central America. My parents specifically, they're from Honduras, you know what I'm saying? And you know, obviously the tribe that we're from, the Garifuna people, or the Garinagu, they're from the islands of, you know, St. Vincent. So growing up here, there was a bit of a disconnect for us, as far as knowing our culture as much as our parents did, because when our parents got here, they had to adjust to this culture, you know. And so in that process, we lost a little bit of who we were. You dig what I'm saying? So now growing up and becoming adults, we in a sense had to go back and try to understand who we were and where we actually came from, even though we were born here in the States. So that's really how this project came about. Just understanding our true identity and not just conforming to what was here, you know. So and I know a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of the Garifuna people can relate to that, especially our peers and the youngsters, because for one, a lot of those who we interviewed, their stories were similar. And then for two, you know, us growing up here in the States, we pretty much had to adjust. We didn't. I don't speak Garifuna. I speak Spanish fluently. But you know, for me growing up, there's still time to learn. But just growing and being proud of who I am and where I come from, that's ingrained in my character. You know what I'm saying? And so that's really why this project is more than just filming and interviewing and content. Is a little bit more than that. It's a lot more deeper than that. It's more tied to us as the human beings that we are, as you know, as the Garifunas that we are. So that's really what's driving this project forward, is that connection, that deep rooted connection. So.
Right. So John, the question is now, you already explained some of the core. So what is the vision of this project? I know you've been filming for the past like 5 years. I think you've been storing content, right? So what is the vision and the mission of this project?
The vision or the mission is for this to be a teaching tool. It's more than just, like I said, it's more than just clickbait. It's more than just a YouTube content, you know, or social media content. It's more of a teaching tool. You know, growing up in the school system out here, you know, we had textbooks we took back and forth to school, right? That told of history or U.S. history, so to speak. And so this is where we garnered our information from as students. But I feel in this day and age, a lot of the information that's being delivered to the children is visual, is digital, you know. And so we're using our know-how in that field of film and content to create that teaching tool. And that's really what this is, because this is a project that's going to outlive both of us, you know. And so and for those who we've interviewed as well, is going to outlive them as well. That's the plan. So if we can pretty much create this digital textbook, is what this is going to be, then we can avoid having our children or grandchildren feel that disconnect that we did when we were young. You understand what I'm saying? So that's really what the vision is. Is to create this teaching tool that, you know, when our children and grandchildren see and listen to the stories that are being told by those we interview from the community, with the, you know, those who have the knowledge and wisdom of who Garifuna, of what Garifuna is and who the Garinagu are, um, then they can also be inspired just like how we are inspired. They can also be proud just like how we are proud, to be who, you know, who we are and where we come from. So that's what the vision is.
So another question, I know you work hands in hand with Abraham. So how did y'all made up your mind that y'all was going to be serious about this project?
You want to answer that?
Well, at first, he lives in California, so he comes here John comes here every summer. So there was one night that he came to the house, and he told me about the project, and he was like, "Oh, I'm doing a Garifuna documentary, and I need to get in contact with a few people." So I was like, "Okay, cool. So let me see if I can use my platform because for like a good 12, 13 years, I was a musician here in New York with a Lagani band. So I got to meet a lot of Garifuna people, musicians, and I was able to use my platform to, you know, to talk to fellow musicians, people that's been in the game for a long time, even the elders, and I was able to get in contact with them. So at first, I was a little bit to the side, and then now I'm in too deep. So now I'm in, and I pretty much love what I do. What we doing is like we are, you know, recording musicians, people in, teachers, people in business, people, etc. And what we doing is letting our people tell our story instead of having someone else tell our story. So this is pretty much what we're doing, because when we in the Bronx or we somewhere, we can look at somebody and we don't know who they are. We are trying to give people the platform to like, oh, wait a minute. I saw, for example, Paula Castillo. I seen her in CDs, but I don't know her story. So we're trying to have everyone tell their story, tell them where they from, where they come from, and you'd be surprised how similar every story is, and that how everything connect. We probably be from different places, but everything connect as one, like a chain. So this is like this is like he said, like John said, this project is going to outlive all of us. So this, I feel proud that we're doing that because it needs to be done. A lot of people try and do it, but we're doing it, and we're going to continue to do it.
And so, like, to add to what Abraham is saying is, this is something that we're handling with care, because this is something that I feel that has been placed in our lap and is now our responsibility to execute. Um, like I said, this is more than just content and streams. This is something that is for our culture, for our children and grandchildren's culture. I know nowadays, the society that we live in, they're so it's microwave. Everyone wants something now, and they want the newest, shiniest thing. And they're clicking on this, they're clicking on that. But that's not what this is. You understand what I'm saying? This is something that you have to wait for, because when it's finally completed, you'll have a better understanding of what we're talking about.
Right.
You'll have a better understanding of this culture, and exactly what Abraham said, just to leave it at this, is we have to tell our story. We have to do it. We have to stop complaining about people telling our story wrong. And so that's really what also helped me push this project forward and this idea forward, was that I got tired of complaining. I just started doing. You understand what I'm saying? So, we could complain all day and say they're getting it wrong, but what are we gonna do about it? You understand what I'm saying? And so we're doing something about it, and that's what this project is about. So, you know, for those, like I said, we're still we're still continuing to push forward and interview. So for those who see this and have a story to tell, who are making a difference in the Garifuna community, um, so you know, we're willing to sit down with you, take the time and schedule some time to sit down. Those who have a business and those who are helping the youth, though, you know, teachers, professors, not just musicians. We're talking to everyone. You know, those who are familiar with the culture. You know, because a lot of our culture is oral history. Some of it is documented. So, you know, for those who have done their homework, we are doing our homework as well. Let's come together. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. We are live. We are Hablandoconbelili. Speaking with Belly, we're live today. We are hosting this great event for you guys. We're coming here today. To those that are asking themselves, well, what's going on Saturday? What is this about? To those of you that already sent out a question, well, I got a flyer, I don't understand. So we're here today to explain to you guys, para explicarles a todos ustedes qué es lo que significa el flyer que se está enviando. Jan y Abraham están aquí esta noche explicando la forma del proyecto que ellos están haciendo. Esto es un proyecto riguroso, un proyecto de que no se ha terminado, pero va a haber un screening el sábado que va a ser en Brooklyn para que ustedes vayan viendo más o menos el tipo de trabajo que estos jóvenes están haciendo. Esto es específicamente de la cultura garífuna. Vamos a aprender y también vamos a ver artistas. There will be artists, there will be regular people, there will be people from different walks of life during the screening, and you'll be able to see, maybe see yourself. And if you're not Garifuna, you'll be able to learn more of who we are. So the question is right now, John, um, how did the community reacted when you started grabbing your phone, calling people? Well, this is what I'm doing. Can you give me a time to, you know, for an interview? How did the community responded to you?
Well, for the most part, the majority of the community, the response was.
This is live. That's okay. This is live streaming. We are streaming right now with Udon Project and hablando con Belly. Estamos en estos momentos con el proyecto Udon. Estamos en vivo esta noche en una entrevista con los jóvenes. Ellos en estos momentos están presentando su proyecto y también estamos invitando a la comunidad completa para este sábado. Vamos a coger un break. We're going to take a little break. Pero queremos platicar con la comunidad. Este sábado los jóvenes van a estar presentando una serie del proyecto que ellos están haciendo. It will be a series of screening. So we invite the entire community, not only Garifuna, but people that knows us. We invite everybody, the entire neighborhood. We invite in Brooklyn. We're inviting Queens, we're inviting the Bronx, throughout the whole tri-state area. We're inviting everybody to come down and support these brothers. This is something that is seldom to see. And I'm just proud of you guys. I'm proud of, you know, how you getting, like, this is like a movement that I feel it is a movement. Two young guys that they see a vision, they see us, you know, getting there. So I'm really, really, really proud. So we just inviting you guys. So can you tell us, guys, where this event is going to be hosting?
So yeah, it's gonna be the address will be 958 Halsey, is Halsey Street in Brooklyn, New York. And the event starts at 11 a.m. And will end about 8 p.m. You know, so it's an all-day event. And the main portion of the event will be the screening. It will be shown 4 times, so that way for those who will not won't be able to make it there due to their personal schedules, if you come in the afternoon time or closer to the evening time, then you should be able to catch the second to last or even the last screening. It's all the same portion of the screening, it will be shown 4 times. So, but yes, it will be in Brooklyn. And for those who are not in New York City, no worries. You know, we thought about you as well. So you have to give us like a week or so, and after this specific event, we will post it online for all to see. So we will let you know when that happens and where you can catch the viewing for that. But for those who are in New York City, if you want to catch this private screening is a free event. Just come down, bring your family, bring the kids, as well. We encourage, to bring the youngsters so they can understand where, what this culture is about, what their culture is about. Even for those who are not Garifuna, to understand, who Garifuna people are, the Garina, who they are, just to have a better understanding. This is just the pilot. The pilot is, usually the episode before the first episode is how I explain it. Gives you a general understanding of what the project will consist of. So it's just an overall summary in a sense, and this is going to be about an hour worth of a screening, and it will be shown 4 times.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
already put down the address. So if anybody has any questions, here's the address. The event is going to be taking place in Brooklyn, which is going to be this Saturday, like John mentioned. There will be, different times. So there's no excuse not to make it out there, because they making it, that everybody could come down at different time of the day. So we are inviting the entire community to come and support our young guys. And not only that, bring your childrens. A lot of kids, that were born here or came here at a younger age, probably they don't have the whole concept or the whole understanding what it's like to be Garifuna. So seeing this documentary, or the part of the documentary, and they'd be able to connect to who they are, to their roots. So we inviting everybody to come down and come and support this company, which is Yurum. So I know you're gonna do this screening. So after the screening, what is left for John? Where do you going to take this project? Because I know you're not just going to store this in a closet. I know there's a bigger things that you're going to be doing with this.
Yeah, we do. Like I said, this is a teaching tool, so you can only imagine, what that will consist of. You know, we do plan on, you know, taking this project, or the when it's completed, and start talking to the school districts. Just like, how, like I said, just taking it back a little bit. Um, growing up in the school system here, we've learned history, right? And it wasn't so much our history. So I think, and I know that in this moment, in this day and age, things are allowed. There are things that are allowed now that weren't allowed then, right? Just to keep it simple. And so it's understood that there are different cultures, different groups, different races of people who are now free to express themselves and where they come from, and to be proud of where they come from. And we're one of those, right? So I feel that this project can be that tool to where when a child, boy or girl, is in middle school or high school, and they get to choose to join a club in school. For those who are in school, you know what I'm talking about. You join a chess club or the Spanish club or something like that. Here's a teaching tool that can be taught in class, so you can feel like you belong, right? Because a lot of us, we just had to, growing up, we just had to fit in with the rest of the Spanish speaking kids. You understand what I'm saying? So because we didn't have our own identity, or we didn't have a platform to express who we were. So, just to give you an idea, but not to divert from your question, is, just to take it into the school system and I don't know what that process will be like, but I'm sure as we get closer to this end result, we'll have a better idea. Also to present this to streaming platforms as well, so that way it's not just a local project. We have Garifuna people all over the world, right? So I feel this project belongs everywhere. We're literally everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? So it's only right for this project to touch everyone.
Exactly. We're streaming live at Hablandoconbelili. So to our followers, to our friends out there, follow these guys, follow these, young men, and follow our platform. Subscribe. It doesn't take too much just to subscribe. Keep on going. Let's keep our culture growing. Um, Another thing that I wanted to
So,
I'll show you to come back in because I'll show you to come back in.
yeah.
Okay.
question was, what inspired you, John?
Okay. So without getting too sentimental,
Yes.
the one person that really inspired me was Miaulita, who was, she's no longer with us. She's still here with us, but no longer with us in the physical. Miaulita Concha is how the Travesía, the Pueblo Travesía knows her. She was really involved with the children, and teaching the children in that community. Um, and she also taught me, even though I was just, I was her child or a child of her child. I was also a student as well, and a lot of the culture I received from her. I received it from my mom as well, but I really received it from my grandmother. And so she was a big inspiration for this project because I personally feel that if she was still here, this is something that she should be doing.
Wow. What
So,
about you, Abraham?
Oh, for me, it was my parents and my grandparents as well. By my parents taking me to Honduras every single year, and I was able to you know, see the difference between living in the States and how they lived back home and the different traditions, that I had to learn, especially the language and the culture and the dance and everything like that. So it was more my family that, made sure that we was out there. They worked hard, for all of us to be down there in Honduras. We was able to meet our family, and I was able to see where I came from, by just being in the culture and being around. A lot of the stuff that I got to learn was new because I was from the States. But thank God that I got to explore and I got to see everything. And now it's I just want to continue to learn and keep it going.
So, what was like to the both of you being in a Garifuna household and then going to school, mingling with different type of culture? How was like for you guys growing up? Did you knew that you was Garifuna immediately, or did you, had to find who you are later on once you become an adult?
uh, I, you know, and that's a great question, because this is a question that we ask those who we interview as well. What was the similarities and differences of the culture in the household versus that outside of the household? And so I'm glad you're asking us because this is the first time it's asked to us. But one thing that I noticed was that obviously it was different, and our experience was unique. Is the best way I can put it. Um, Outside of the household, we weren't in the conversation, right? So the guy, and this is coming from us being in Queens, because I know I would imagine those who lived in the Bronx, who lived around more Garifuna people, their experience probably was different. But for us living in Queens and being, you know, some of the only Garifunas in the area, you know, we were just surrounded by other cultures who didn't know of our culture. So it was one of those. It was moments where, you know, we felt isolated, right? We didn't feel like we belonged. And in those times, it wasn't as in what's the word I'm looking for? Accepted, you know, to be different. You know, nowadays you're different. We accept you as you are. You know that's how it is now. But that's not how it was back then. You know, if you mentioned a place you were from and, you know, everyone else wasn't familiar, you became the laughing stock, right? So and sometimes you have to fight your way out of that situation as boys at the time. So yeah, it was definitely a different experience. But like I said, growing up, you know, we had to have tough skin. And so I think that's something that comes from our culture. You know, we never understanding our history. We were people who never gave up. You know, we never conformed. You know, we never were. We were always proud of who we were, even if those outside of our culture didn't accept us. You know,
Yes,
so
we are live with Hablandoconbelili.
yeah. Is that our connection?
I don't know. It's like a time. We're back.
Okay.
Yes, we are back. We are back. We paused for a minute. We are back. We hablando con Belly. We are having a conversation. Esta noche estamos conversando con John Moreira y con también Abraham Laboriel, dos muchachos nacidos aquí en América de travesía y tienen un proyecto estupendo en sus manos. Entonces invitamos la comunidad completa travesía, los invitamos Bajamar y todos los pueblos que son garífunas, invitamos para este sábado que ustedes lleguen a participar, a ver este proyecto con sus propios ojos. Va a haber un screening de diferentes horas que es en Brooklyn. Ya tenemos la dirección aquí en la página, pero si ustedes necesitan más información sobre este proyecto, pueden escribirle Hablando con Belly. De aquí le daremos cualquier información que ustedes necesitan. Invitamos a los niños, invitamos a los adultos, invitamos a personas de tercera edad, invitamos a los jóvenes. We need young people to come and support this. We need you guys. Calm down. John, the last question that I'm going to ask. When did you decided that you was going to become a writer, producer, everything in this, right? Because I know, you know, you done a quiet recording. When did you decide, you know what, I'm just going to throw myself out there and I'm just going to produce?
It was recently, honestly. Not like a couple of years back. It was just one of those situations where I'm a very do-it-yourself kind of person, and in this day and age, everything is at the click of a button. You know, is everything. You know, you can there's access. You know, to equipment, to software, to information, and so, you know, I just have that mindset of I'm not gonna wait for the next person to make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen for myself. So it's just me applying that to film, to directing. It's the same mindset. It's just applying it to different areas of my life. That's all it is. And I advise those out there in the Garifuna community as well. You're the only one who puts limits on your life. So understand that there's no limit to what you can do. You just got to get up and do it. You know, so that's really what's propelling this project forward, and, you know, propelling my ideas forward is just I just have that do it yourself mindset. If I don't know it, I'm gonna figure it out. If I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna, you know, call on my cousin to see if he knows how to do it. If he doesn't know how to do it, we'll figure it out together. So that has to be the mindset. That will always be the mindset.
So what was it hard to get the leads, meaning people to interview? How did the both of you, I know you worked on that, but how did you arrange your appointments to meet, all of that kind of stuff?
Well, it was pretty simple because everyone was pretty much was waiting for the call. Like I'm like it's about your personality, your demeanor, your character. I was able to communicate with a lot of people, and they received me very well, and they was really open. And to be honest with you, when I started working with John, we started working during COVID, so everyone was home. So at first, we thought that it was going to be difficult, but everybody was inviting. We was going to everybody's homes with masks on. People wasn't really accepting people at their homes at that time, but we did it during COVID, and thank God, nothing happened to us. But everybody was inviting. Everybody was happy to the point that like they didn't want to end the interview. Now they got certain artists and certain people that want to do their own documentary about their own story by
Yeah.
themselves. So that's going to be in the works in the near future. We're going to be happy to work with certain people, and we're going to allow them to tell their story because we have the access to the equipment. We have the technology. We have everything in the world. There's no excuse. You can watch everything on the phone, on your TV, on your computer. You can do everything. So that's what we're here for us to like bring our tradition and our culture out. Because growing up out here, we were different. They'll look at us speaking Spanish, and that was like, you guys speak Spanish? Oh, you guys are different. And then, like, back then, I'm a little older, so back then, everything is Puerto Rican, Dominican. They ain't know what Honduras, they ain't know what Garifuna was. So we have to explain to them who we were, and it's like talking to a rock. But nowadays, you have the internet, you got the computer, you have everything. So now everybody is aware of what we are, but we trying to bring it out a lot more. So that's pretty much what we're doing.
Amazing, amazing. You make me laugh because I know what you're talking about. Back then, it was like the Honduras was not even on the map. So a lot of people they didn't know much about us. It was more Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and Mexicans. But now, like you tell someone I'm Honduran, the first thing they say, "Hey, punta," So
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's really amazing.
it's
Absolutely.
very.
Um,
And
I am just happy to have you guys. And can you share with us again where this event is going to take place on Saturday?
yeah, so it will be this Saturday. That's July 1st. The times it will start at 11 and end about 11 a.m. End about 8 p.m. Four show times. The first show time will be 12 to 1:30. Then the second one will be 2 to 3:30. Third, um, 4 to 5:30, and then the last 6 to 7:30. So and then also for those who because I know there's people who okay, why should I show up? Why don't I just wait for it to be online? Well, if you come to the event, you can enjoy some extras. We have we will have people from the Garifuna community who will be performing um, you know dance, music, things of that nature. You can mix and mingle from those from your community, uh, Garifuna and or other, and just collaborate. It's gonna just be a house full of of culture, and knowledge, and for the children to learn and for the adults to get more familiar with. So there's a lot going on that Saturday. Just come down. The address once again 958 Hale C Street in Brooklyn, New York. And just come down and enjoy yourself.
Wow. So who was your favorite interviews? I know you've done many and plenty of interview, but I know you have few that you were like, wow, I nailed it.
I'll go first. Oh man, this is a difficult question because You gotta say it's difficult because we literally have close to, well, probably over 150 interviews already. So it's kind of hard to pick just one. Um, but my personal favorite, because I grew up on his music, my dad played his music, was Aurelio Martinez interview. And
Wow.
so, he spoke a lot about, his career, his childhood. He had some words for the youth as well, some advice. He told us why he was proud to be Garifuna. And then he finished it off with a acapella of one of my favorite songs from him, which is Africa. So it was just a great overall interview. And then I believe from there we both traveled to the Bronx because the next interview was with Nino Arasul. So it was just a great day, it was just a great day overall. And that's what it's all about. Just, this isn't work for me. This is something that I enjoy. I love being behind the camera and learning and growing and creating. But then with this project specifically, it's just something that I hold dear to my heart. You understand? So it's just overall, it's just something that I enjoy. And then,
Here we go. We're back.
I'm gonna have to leave here immediately. She lands at United. She lands at United Airlines.
Okay. With
LaGuardia.
LaGuardia, yeah. A little closer. That's not closest to the box, but going down there. She ain't hit you?
Cool.
What's the G? Still live.
Can't. Let me call it.
Oh yeah. What's that mean? It's supposed to blow up? She pulled up already?
Ooh.
This is the.
She said 30 minutes.
And they gotta wait for the other, right?
They don't get here till 12.
Wow. So you gotta wait like close to like 2 hours. And then you can't go into the Airbnb yet, right?
No, we can.
Hmm? Yeah, unless you drop off at the Airbnb and go back, that's a lot.
Yes.
Voila. Ready? Oh, wait, I need some water.
Hey, how you doing? Is it my side? Is it?
Yeah, it's still counting down.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Do I have this? Do I have to be present in the Zoom or? Okay. Okay. No, it's because I have to. Yeah, I have to. I have to go grab my sister. Yeah. Ah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Bye. All right. Cool. We good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yo, sweat. Sweat like a motherfucker.
No, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, you did most of it.
too.
Huh?
Is that your phone?
Ah, yeah, I know who's calling me now. Huh?
Let's go.
Hello. Hi. Porque yo estaba en una entrevista en YouTube. Yo no podía contestar a nadie. Ya, acabamos de terminar. ¿Y ese que está perdido por unos cuantos días? ¿Ah?
¿Qué estás viendo?
Yo. Acabo de terminar la entrevista con una señora de Honduras. Sí, tenía que conectar unas cámaras aquí. Ah, no, mi mamá está aquí todavía. Mi mamá está a la oficina. Put my keys in. I have to go outside. Espera, tengo que ir para afuera. Put my keys in. Mira, ¿qué haces? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Right there. Right there.
Hello, 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 hello. Ay, Mari, buenas noches, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué es de bueno? Oh, pero Abraham no está, puede encaminar a John, creo. Y, y ya estoy viendo. Ya me voy a esconder. Pues Amado no quiere venir, Amado no quiere venir ni a la sala. Ya lo voy a llamar a él para que él venga a cerrar la cámara. No sé dónde anda, si anda caminando a John. Lo voy a llamar ahorita. Ok, sí, porque ya ando desordenado, compa. Y eso lo va a ver la gente. Oh, y que yo pasé para allá, al billar donde estaba. Sí, a la ventana. Ok, vaya pues. Sí, ay, no, pero es bueno arreglarse uno, yo estaba acostada. Qué guata, olvídate. Ok, está bien, está godo. Sí, mira, yo me voy a ir después, como en la tarde, después de mediodía. No te preocupes por ir para la mañana. Voy a hacer un mandado primero, después voy a dejar las cosas y voy a coger 52. Ajá, me dijo Ibra que cogiera el 52 y que cogiera en Jamaica el J, el 24, ¿verdad? ¿A dónde? ¿De dónde? Ok, vamos a ver, ahí era 101 entonces. Ok, vamos a ver. Ok, está bien, porque yo que Chelita me he dicho de ese, sí, para los trenes andan malos. Yo me voy a ir en bus. De todas maneras no pensaba irme en bus. El 52 y coger el J allá arriba de la. O si no me voy para este yo. Sí, yo me voy de bus en bus. No está lejos. Ok, voy a llamar a Abraham. Ok, bye. Que la cámara está abierta. Y la cámara, dejaste la cámara abierta. Sí, porque Mariana me vio porque yo me puse. Ok. ¿Cómo voy a pagar el televisor? Ok. Vale, pues. ¿Vas a comer?
¿Ah? ¿Eso ya está apagado?
Oh, que se apagó.
¿Ah?
Se apagó.
¿Pasó?
Ok. ¿Vas a comer?
¿Ah?
Más tarde.
No lo voy.
¿Ah?
No lo voy.
Sí, porque sí, te voy a dejar un poco te hago, porque si cobras pollo,
Solo me da un poquito.
o te lo doy ahorita.
Ah, yeah.
Te voy a.
Voy a terminar la comida que tengo ahí también.
Pero, ¿estás seguro que vas a comer eso?
Yeah.
Te lo pongo ahí mismo.
Ah.
En vez de cortar, así lo puedes calentar cualquier hora y yo a ver si guardo. ¿Hicieron las dos o solo una?
Solo uno.
¿Qué pasó con el señor? ¿No pudieron?
Creo que el señor se quedó en el shop.
Oh, ok.
Pero suficiente con el uno.
Sí, ese estuvo bien bonito.
Oh, ¿lo viste?
No, lo oí.
Ah.
Ah, no, aquí no podemos.
¿Ah?
Aquí no lo voy a poner.
No, yo voy como un poquito de ahí.
Lo pongo ese de aquí.
No. Dame arreglar esto. Y solo vi que papi entró y se fue.
Que no quería salir.
No iba a salir. They wasn't going to see you at all. Él podía comer allá.
Sí, pero no quiso, ese que iba a salir.
He could have ate over there and they wasn't going to see him. La única parte
Que
que
termine y después me va a sacar, no, le digo, te voy a sacar.
déjame poner Hanna para atrás. ¿Se miraba bien?
Se miraba bien.
Yeah.
Y le anda y la cómo se llama.
Mm-hmm.
Imagínate qué idea.
Yeah, estaba haciendo la entrevista. Va a cantar Pablo Castillo.
Bueno,
El sábado.
mañana.
No, el sábado, ahí nos vamos a estar.
Ok, voy a llegar todas las 2. Voy a llegar tarde.
Ya solo tenemos que poner pistas para cantar ella. Yo solo dije que papi entró así, hizo así. I had to ignore him.
No quiere salir, no piensa porque viene a la sala.
Mm-hmm.